Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans. Another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come here every weeknight at midnight Eastern and talk about guns for an hour, even when we're being forked. So we'll see if anybody shows up tonight. So far we got Chris out there, or Smiles out there waving, and we're out there. So let's see, I got a couple of things we can dig into. We got links over there on Patreon, so if you'd like to join in tonight, feel free. If you're a Patreon. If you're not, then I guess you can find an alternative link somehow. Let's see, I can close out of that window, and I can close out of, I do have a link up there. Yep, close out of that window. And it's Free Patch Friday, so I'll drop a link to the store out here. Oh, I forgot to play the robot.
Buy things at here websites.com. Buy things at here websites.com.
Hopefully that link shows up right when you hear that. Then that initiates the robot programming. So that's a link if you want to buy something over at the store. It makes a little song over here. And let's see, we got 3 people that bought something over at the store today. Thanks for that. And I see this first you figured out how to make a note over there. So I didn't do that. I don't know what happened. Maybe they upgraded something, but thanks for leaving a note there. That helps a lot. And he requested a GunTube patch for his Free Patch Friday. So guntube.org is a two-way hosting platform that is what we would recommend as a place to post your videos. Let's share the screen over here. If anybody jumps in, they'll show up at the bottom of the El Pato over here. Otherwise, we'll go over to this other browser window. We'll open up guntube.org. So when you go to guntube.org, you'll see there's all kinds of videos right here on the front page for you to check a look at. You can log in and you can go to the chamber. You can upload and all kinds of stuff. Category focused or category sorted browsing or searching. You can just plain old browse either live streams, channels, or videos. And then imagine you can search as well up here. So if you got something in specific you're looking for, I'm guessing this is another way to just browse through either the most viewed, most liked, stuff that's getting the most chatter. And Mike's been putting a lot of effort into guntube.org, so highly recommend you check it out. Go back over to the main page there, drop that link. Let's see what we're gonna do. Go check out the calendar. So I got stuff I'm missing on the calendar, it turns out. So I guess I'm gonna go over to the Instagram also. And this is the kind of capability I have with this awesome monitor. Well, I could probably put all 3 of these things up on one screen. So I'm assuming everybody can hear me. It looks like I'm wiggling over there on my mic thing. And got 3 people watching tonight. So what did I miss? I missed the Cincinnati Revolt. Pissed about that. That's half the reason I do this kind of thing. So I'm going to go over here at the Bunge Calendars. Like a lot of the sites is run by WordPress. So you just go to the admin. Let's just go ahead and log in off air here. because logging in is my business. And then we are in here. We'll update some stuff real quick, it looks like. I don't even know what these are, but we're going to update them. All right, thanks for the update on the audio. Appreciate it. Let's see, so now we're going to go back over, and now that we're logged in, go to, I'm just going to, I guess I could probably go this way. Oh, I guess I can't. Go into the main thing, go to events, which will take me to the list of all the events that are in here, 1,600 of them, and we're going to search for Revolt. It'll come up with a lot of 9mm stuff because of revolting, but it'll also come up with the Cincinnati Revolt, which it looks like I haven't updated for this year. So what I like to do is duplicate, which is a function that I added as a plugin. It's not a normal feature, and I just hit it 3 times there. Hitting it 3 times and not letting the page refresh and then going back in search allows me to then refresh the page and have 3 instances that showed up. So I'm going to open each of those in a new window, and then this one in its own window. And the way that this calendar plugin works, I'm going to go down here and switch this to this year, put it in for the 21st and publish. Now if we go look, it'll actually be here on the 21st where it's supposed to be. Dang. That means I missed it on the YouTube video too, so that's annoying. So now we're going to make sure that it's in there for next year by going to 21 and putting it in as an all-day event in 2021. And then we'll go over here and put it in as an all-day event in 2022. And now it's definitely in the calendar next year and the year after. So that's one thing I missed. Let's see. Do we have Makarov in here? That was the 22nd, so that would have been yesterday. We did not have Makarov in here, which is annoying because we had Makarov in here for the other day. 13th, did we? Oh, we didn't. What the hell? We didn't have Makarov in here at all, so somehow I didn't have Makarov in here either. So I'm going to go back to events. And he's been in here, so I just have to go find him. AKA. M-A-K-A. R-O-V. That guy. All right, so see, I had stuff up to 19, but nothing since this year. So we got died and aborned. So we'll hit 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and search. That's what happens when you got a slow ass browser. So we got 1 open, 2 open, 3 open. That's the original one from 19. So now we got 4 open, 5 open, and then this one is this one. So we'll take this. So this is born. We'll make this all day event 20 so that it should happen this year. The 22nd. Close that. We'll make this died all day event on the 20. 13. All right, so now we'll make this one all day event 21 and 13. And what the hell is this? This would be 22 and 13 all day event. Publish, get rid of that, get rid of that. Now let's turn this one into 21, 22. That couldn't be more confusing. And then this one will be 22, 22. This is maintaining or doing the tidying up. So now this will be in here for the 13th where I missed it. Dang it. And the 22nd where I missed it. And that was yesterday. So it's two things we missed. We got Minnesota in there. We missed Museum Day. So National Museum. What's that all about? Monday, May 18th, National Museum Day. So let's see what the history of that is. Every year since 1970, all museums are in the world are participated. Holy crap. All right, well, I guess it's an official thing. We're putting it in here. So new event, add event. It's called, where'd it go? No. I guess it's just called Museum Day. Maybe it's International Museum Day. All the museums in the world. So I'm going to call it International. International right there. Imed. We missed Imed by a couple of days here. So that was on the 18th. And what are we going to call that? We'll call that holiday. Let's call that a holiday. Holiday event, the 18th. We missed it by a few days now. Every year since 1977. May 18th. So I'll act like we posted that in 1977. And let's go figure out more about this thing. Anybody ever heard of that before? National Museum Day? Only 4 people listening. At this point, this podcast is like a train wreck or a plane wreck, but it happened out in like the jungle. And there was nothing really on that train or plane, so nobody really went out to look for it. So it's just a couple of people walk by and poke a stick at the wreckage, see if they can steal anything. Then go on by, walk on past. I just watched that show. Some show about a guy who wrestles a bear poorly, and then his kid gets killed, and then he whines about it for the rest of the movie. I forget the name of it. Never Enough Ammo said it was good. The International Council of Museums, ICOM. That's who I kind of figured, but I wasn't sure. That's why I wanted to look it up. Make a good modem also. Organization chooses a different theme for the day and coordinates every year. Some of the themed included globalization, indigenous peoples, bridging, cultural gaps, and caring for the environment. 20,000 museums in 90 countries. I do like this. Boom. Do that, I guess. That's fine. And then we'll go back here and like that. Boom. Boom. I didn't even know this thing seemed like there's a national day for everything under the sun. Oh yeah, definitely. That way, it allows areas of interest to unite around something, to have like either some sort of a focus day or meeting up. But having anniversaries, ways to remember history of of a area of interest or something, for sure. Like this thing called Days of the Year. These are sometimes interesting resources. This is a link farm. This isn't all that interesting. It has some information on it, which is fine, but what, 70% of the screen or more, maybe 75% of everything is garbage. So the first part here is garbage, just some image designed to make you look at it. And then this is garbage, boilerplate, wasting time making it how big that is. And then this is all ad, obviously, sucking up to me because I don't know, probably because I was looking at computer stuff, I guess, maybe. Home Depot, I don't know why, because they probably know more about what I need at Home Depot than I do. And then I don't know why they're trying to sell me a TV. That's stupid. Anyway, and then some kind of rolling pin. But this is all link farm over here. But basically, these sites exist to give you the every single day of the month, every single day of the year, really. I use this one that is interesting. Just a real cheap one, This Day in History. It's also a link farm to some extent, but they don't bother you with it. They have an ad and then a second one, and then they pretty much shut up about it. And it's just text. And it's just pretty good mix. It's not all pop culture, which is kind of boring, and it's not all boring history. And a lot of them are really focused on something, airplanes, or none of them are focused on guns. Well, there's ours. But sometimes they're focused on politics, sometimes they're focused on cars, something that people are interested in. This one's pretty good mix. There's some crime. Sometimes they're kind of focused a lot on crime. Natural history, stuff explodes or fires, things like that. Natural disasters, I guess. So there's lots of different focus ones. So I don't know what this one's called, Holiday Insights. I found it one time and I use it to keep an eye on what's happening. So it is today. 5. Today would be the 22nd. Oh, it's the steam. Let's see, we've got all kinds of stuff. Former vice president is tried for treason. So some vice president in 1807 was acquitted for treason. The Great Train Robbery was in 1868 today. I think that was in Europe. The steamship Savannah departed Savannah, Georgia to Liverpool, England, and was the first transatlantic crossing by a steamship. Don't give us the year or nothing, assholes. So they didn't give us the year. First reported sighting of the Loch Ness Monster was today in 1933. So there you go. Today was the debut of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, just 34 years later. So the Loch Ness Monster is sighted, and 34 years later, a 34-year-old Mr. Rogers debuts on television. And I believe someone would suggest that on Sundays there's a quote-unquote conspiracy show on the internet. I bet you don't even talk about that. Tomorrow, Bonnie and Clyde are shot to death. And then later on, their guns will be put in the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame Museum. This month, the nursery rhyme Mary Had a Little Lamb will be written. Ford will cease production on the Model T. Star Wars is released. Oh, I already knew that one. I thought that said Star Trek. Michael Jackson will marry Elvis's daughter. The pop-up toaster will be invented. The Bismarck will be sunk. Yep, all kinds of neat stuff. So anyway, I added a couple of events that I'm adding Museum Day. So this is got off-tracked by that site that was talking about the different, different days of the focused on things. Held annually on or around 18th of May. What's up with that? On or around. This is exactly copy and pasted from wherever the other thing was. So that other thing probably just copy and pasted Wikipedia. So that's definitely a link farm, whatever the hell that other thing I was clicked on. This is exactly the same thing. Like it's museums, especially the air and space, drives my wife nuts when we're traveling. Yeah, they should probably do something about that, like put something next to those museums or do something else at those museums. Because yeah, it can be a little tough going to an air and space museum if you're not into it. But I think it's worth it. Definitely take kids to it. It took me a while to absorb it. I don't think everybody just takes loves airplanes right away, but it's worth seeing them. It's worth getting a perspective on everything, seeing how big airplanes are and stuff. Gained attention, yeah, literally verbatim. This is nothing except what was on that other site. And then, of course, all their different themes. Museums for a Sustainable Society. So this time it's Museum for Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion. Uh, Future of Tradition. What does that mean? Future of Tradition. Cultural hubs. Oh, I see. Museums as cultural hubs. Hyper-connected museums. New approaches. That was in 2018. Yeah, did they do anything different? They started to include people. Although it would be neat if they started making collections more open source. Was that be the word? Like collaborative? That would be interesting. Say, hey, our museum is about guns, but what do you got to say about guns? Yeah, you can't go over there and look at that. I went over there yesterday though, went into the guest parking and looked at that quote unquote Titan II missile. It wasn't a Titan II missile though. It was the solid rocket fuel booster off the side of a shuttle. Some dumb one that they never even used, made out of carbon fiber. You ever watch The Highwayman? Yeah, I watched that one. That was all right. I didn't dislike it. I didn't like the gun shop scene. You'd have to watch that on the guntube.org sometime using the chamber feature and then just watch it as a group or something. All right, let me finish. I was looking at their different things. I guess it really doesn't matter. So international. I'm already yawning. It's boring. The International Council of Museums is a museum professionals with a global blah 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 blah. We need a council of gun museums. What would that be? IGM, ICGM. There's really nothing good to go with gun museums. Can you go FM, ICFM, 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 ICFM? I don't know how to come up with something good out of that, but there needs to be something about gun museums that it doesn't just sit around pouting and sucking. You need to be awesome and have inclusivity and equality or whatever the fuck, and use that to win. Anyway, so we got an International Museum Day. Boom, boom, boom. And what are we going to give that for a picture? Oh, I know what I could give it. A picture of an effing museum. I've been making a bunch of those. So this is what I ended up with, but then I notch it down a notch and blend the colors a little bit, and it comes up more like that. So that's what I'm going to use. Boom. And publish. And now we have that one up on the 18th. And although we missed it, I can now go international. Not going to be too many international things that show up. It's not the only thing. So duplicate that twice, search again, get those drafts and open them and change that date till next year, 18th. Now I got next year's down here and 2 years into the future, and maybe we'll still be using the internet in the future. Maybe we won't, but this will still be online. And actually, it's more than that. This is online, but it's online 2 years out. So if somebody starts going like this and come on, and just clicks on this a bunch of times, then they'll eventually be next year. Like now they're in 2021. This is basically how you can see the future if you want. And then go over to the website, that's what it's for, and then see what's going to happen in the future. And things that'll happen are things like we just added there. On the 18th, International Museum Day. Boom. So now it's in there. And that means it's in there now for next year. So anyway, so that means it's already in there in the search engines and whatnot. All right, so with that, I think that was all I missed. I screwed up and posted incorrectly some things, but I corrected that. So you can go look at Instagram. Storm and Norman's putting the 308 link stuff all over. 45, our guy 45 is, I don't know why he's posting this. Oh, he got some kind of a doll from Terminator. Got the long slide. It's got the shotgun. That's interesting. No AR-180, no Uzi. No Spaz 12. What? They must upcharge you on all the accessory guns. At least you get that wicked 45 long slide right there. Simon must be online doing something. They have some kind of whiskey and cigars chat or something that goes on. It's like Travis is stalking the neighbors, keeping track of who's moving. Mike's out getting trained somewhere. This guy doesn't get the idea of this, I guess. Wait a minute, are they even 6 feet apart? Can you hear that fly buzzing around? I don't know how good that mic is. Looks like dude is sitting around watching car movies. Oh, I missed the gear report thing earlier. They do their hammock show on Thursday, and they do some kind of live show on Friday. Then you got Jim out there right now. I don't know if he's out there right now. Canada. Oh, that's interesting. Let me give that one a click. Liberty Doll had a show tonight, but I did not watch that show. Who was in there sewing? Oh, so I guess I was going to say, and since the show's almost over, it'll only be the 3 people. I will just go make another one. I was sewing something as a project, as soon as I got the new software. So, yeah, I will just go in there and sew a third one, and then you'll each get one of the things I've been sewing today. So, yeah, I missed everything. I totally forgot. I think I saw Night Strike show, Gary's show for a minute. But that was just when I was walking back and forth. What is this guy doing? What did ham radio do during this whole thing? I don't really see ham radio doing much. Where's that little puppy? I don't know what's going on with this. Some little puppy? I think it's a real puppy. I don't know what the hell that's all about. This is some cartoon girl or lady I follow. I don't know how old she is. She's somebody's mom, so she's a lady. What do we got up here? Oh, yeah. I was just saying before, I guess you didn't hear it. I don't know how that note thing came up. That's the first time I've seen a note, so thanks for leaving one. That worked fine. But I sewed 2 patches today as I was working on something, and they're one off, so I'm not going to sew them anymore. So you're welcome to one of those, or the gun tube one that you requested earlier. And that's why we were talking about gun tube over here. Boom. FBI accidentally reveals. I don't know what that's about. I think they're doing some sort of what do they call it when they out them? They do some kind of outing and they let everybody's names out. Obama was doing that right when he left. Like when you let people know the name of a agent who's undercover or something. Yeah, this is good for the Boogalarpers. Burgalarp. That's a way to say it. All right, well, now we're just looking at Instagram, the army post. We'll end it with Bruce Lee. That's how we're going to end the show, I guess. So nobody jumped in tonight, but I want to thank a couple of people that purchased stuff over at the store and people that joined in on the show during the week. We send out links to the Patreon site, but people are doing other things, maybe watching the show that Quarks this show every Saturday. And what are we going to do? We're just going to have to suffer being quirked. Like slowly getting cut, but then also having that cut get festered. And then it gets infected and it starts to pus up. I watched this show about the guy who's attacking that bear. What's the name of that show? Let me go look. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and the bear kicks the shit out of him about halfway through. And then he cries about it the rest of the movie. The bear kicks the crap out of him. He fights really poorly against this bear. And then some bad guy kills his son right in front of him. And then he bitches about it for the rest of the movie. He cries about it. Aviator? No. The Revenant. Revenant? Revenant. I don't even know what that word means, but that's what the name of that movie is. The Revenant. Anybody ever seen it? So basically, I'll spoil it for you. This guy is living some kind of life where they're ruining the environment. I don't know what they're doing, but they're ruining the environment. And this is in the olden days when it was the style at the time to ruin the environment. And they're out there ruining the environment and killing for the sake of killing, I think. And then at some point, a bear says, I've had enough of this. And he starts wailing on this guy. And this guy just is the worst bear fighter in the world. And Bob, I don't know. This is the way Bob would think that somebody would fight a bear, by just acting like a sock puppet and letting the bear wail on him instead of fighting it. And then, so he gets beat up because the bear has teeth or whatever. So then he's all complaining, oh, I got beat up by a bear. But then instead of being like, getting back up and getting at it, he's laying there and he's lazy. And he's laying there and this bad guy comes up and kills his son right in front of him. He doesn't do nothing about it. He's too lazy. He's just sitting there. And then after a while, he decides to get up and then like walk home or whatever and complain about it. That's pretty much the movie. But the whole thing is, the point of the whole movie is, if the guy would have fought the bear better, none of that other stuff would have happened. None of it. He would have basically been the hero of the movie. And he would have got that bear hand like he wanted the whole time in the first place. So basically, don't be a jerk when you're out in the woods. Get ready for a bear to attack you and attack the bear first. Easy. That was why it was hard to watch that movie. Because I was thinking, damn, maybe we would just attack that bear better at the beginning. And I'm about halfway through Catch Me If You Can, which is another movie by that same dude. So what I'll do sometimes is when I watch a movie, I'll go underneath of it. And underneath the movie, they'll show you other movies that are similar, maybe by the same director or people. Can Canadians even fight bears? Oh, yeah. The thing is, it's sort of like how if you watch somebody play with a dog down here in this country, that's how it is. So down here, we'd consider it fighting. But up there, they're just wrestling. They're just play wrestling. It's no big thing. Then if the bear starts getting sassy or whatever, too frisky, then they'll slap it on the nose or whatever, and it'll run off. But I don't know if it's legal. I don't know. It might be illegal to bear wrestle these days. All right, well. I wish I had pictures. I didn't even get me pictures of stuff I've been working on. So you'll just get surprised. And it's just one-offs for a project. So no one will ever, if you decide to never take pictures of it, you'll get these things and you'll be the only ones that ever see them. And maybe they're so lame that you'll never want to show them off. Or you'll get them and you'll be like, dang, I got the only one of this basically on the whole planet. And I doubt anybody else will make them. So you'll have the only ones. So if you want to share them with other people, you can. If you don't have to. No one even knows who bought this stuff tonight. So yeah, so thanks to a couple people. That was probably about, it's hard to say when you remove the shipping out of there, probably a good $75 maybe by the time you get rid of shipping. So I do appreciate it. That helps pay a bill. With that though, I think we'll ditch out of here. You can blame the short show on the corkers, the people that cork this show and make it so that nobody even communicates in the show. What the hell? Because you can see I've got this thing up. Oops, that's the wrong button. Is this the right button? I've got this thing up unless I'm getting screwed out of comments over here. Nope. So we're not getting any comments. It's boring. So I'm going to head out. We do post a link over on Patreon though. So if you want to join in the future, feel free. But I guess I'll go finish watching Catch Me If You Can and go sew out a third patch for the third person that purchased something over there at the store. Oh, I was going to say, unless Chris doesn't want that one-off, but I guess he definitely wants to pick whatever the one-offs. Right on. So with that, I guess the show did have a purpose. Got to say hey to Biker Bob out there, Chris, and erstwhile. I guess that's all of us that were here tonight. It was just a private show, kind of a get-together. It's sort of like we met up in a parking lot, chatted for a little bit about Canadian bears and whatnot, and then we headed off. So with that, I did send out emails and I don't know what they are, contacts, direct messages, whatever they're called on the various platforms to let people know if you're in the running. It's about, I guess there's a little bit of crossover, but it's around 20 something, 40 something, 20 something stuff on each side. So maybe 40, 30, something like that altogether. But I'm sure there's people out there that are really close to being in the, let's say the 300 club or something. So if you're interested in letting me know if you want to be in the running, let me know. And we chat about that over on the Patreon. But we'll be figuring that out, I guess, in a couple of days. Maybe next week on the 29th. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back to pick you up later.